guys, what is up? Today is actually my 3-year anniversary with my 2017 Subaru STI. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about my ownership, why I bought this car, and just how it's treated me in the past 3 years. So as of today, March 4th, 2020, this is 3 years, and I've done 28,311 miles. All I've done is basic maintenance, oil changes, filter changes, the basic stuff so far. Coming up, I'm going to be doing spark plugs. I'm going to be doing the trans and diff and coolant, all that stuff, all the fluids. I'm going to do flushes of all that. It's been relatively cheap to maintain. It hasn't, nothing has been crazy expensive to replace or anything like that. The car is still under warranty. The only warranty thing that I had to get done was the driver's side axle up front. The boot ripped, so it was spewing some grease. This was a couple years ago, 2 years ago, and it was replaced under warranty, no question. Otherwise, I go to the dealer for my oil changes just because time is of the essence. I have 2 kids, and just going there is much easier. I have a really close relationship with my dealership, and they treat me well there, and they do a good job and everything, so I have no problem doing that. I will be getting all the other work done there as well, just like I said, because I have a good relationship with the dealer, and they know the car, they know me and everything, so that's just easier for me. But like I said, it's been very cheap to maintain. It's been basic prices, nothing astronomical, nothing crazy. But that is in 3 years that I've driven this car. And that's one of the great things about it. Now, as to why I bought an STI, well, if you don't know my story, before this car, I've had plenty of fun cars before that. More specifically an M3. I had an old 2013 WRX as well. A few other cars before that too. But before the STI, about 5 years ago, I sold the WRX, and I did the first typical thing that you would do when you become a dad for the first time, is you sell the race car and you get something more practical. So what I ended up getting was a 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and in about 6 months, I completely regretted the decision and realized, wow, I can't drive an SUV, I can't drive a normal car, I need something fun again. I need something that I feel connected to, and I miss that passion that I had in my car ownership. So after 2 years, we had our first kid, and we're actually going on to our second kid. And I was like, I can't take the Jeep anymore. We'll get my wife something bigger that we can handle family duties, and I want something fun again. So I was looking at the time I was looking at a Golf R. I was looking at E90 M3s. I was looking at the Focus RS, which was pretty new at the time, and they were still doing the price gouging at the dealerships. The Type R, I don't believe was really on the radar yet. I was looking at GTIs, a few other cars kind of in that price point, in that category. My requirements were all-wheel drive, 4 doors, manual, relatively cheap to maintain, fun to drive, and more importantly, safe. I have kids. Your mindset changes when you become a parent, so you want something that, God forbid, if you're ever in a situation where you needed airbags, you want everybody to be safe in the car. So the Subaru STI checked all those boxes for me. It had everything that I wanted. It was reasonably priced, and lo and behold, 3 years later, I'm still driving it. As you can see, I have 2 kids now, 2 car seats in the back. Everything fits great, they fit fine, and I couldn't be more happy with this thing. Yes, I understand you could probably get faster cars, cheaper cars, better looking cars, anything, you can name it. But the STI, to me, it was a goal of mine that I've always wanted to accomplish, mainly because I remember it was before I got my license. I was always interested in cars. I was probably about 14 or 15 or so. I remember I was working, and I was on lunch at the time. I was in the parking lot, and a white on gold STI, I believe it was a Hawkeye, pulled up next to me. It was brand new, and it parked right on the side, right where I was, and my jaw just dropped, and I was like, whoa, what is that? And just hearing it and seeing the giant wing in the back and just the style of it, you know, I was in complete amazement. I was like, whoa, that thing is amazing. And I remember still, you know, from that day, I was like, man, one day I'm gonna own STI. I'm gonna own something that cool. You know, I don't know when it was gonna be, but I knew I was gonna do it someday. You know, and obviously that's, you know, 18 or so years later, 20 years later, I have my STI. And I've been driving it, like I said, for 3 years. I've done 28,000 miles, and each mile that I've driven has been more fun, and I've enjoyed more than any car I've ever had. And that is including my M3, which is, it surprised me as well. I drive this every single day. I drive it to work. I've driven it in snow. I've driven it in rain. I've driven it in hot, humid weather. I've done it all. Drive my kids to school in it, you know, grocery shopped, commute to work, everything. Anything that you would basically do in a car, I've done in this car. I know, I get it. It's not like a crazy sports car, but I wanted to get something that wasn't going to hold me back. In my M3, I was always afraid to take it everywhere just because of, you know, the kind of car it was. I was always so afraid of where it was parking, and just in general, I was afraid to drive it because I was afraid something was going to break, it was going to be so expensive, someone was going to hit it, anything like that. Not to say that I'm not worried about those things with this car, but to me, in my opinion, this car, it just did it for me. You know, I wasn't as afraid to drive it hard. I wasn't afraid to park at places. You know, I'm still extremely cautious, and I'm very anal about this car, about how it looks and where I'm parking and everything like that. But I'm not as scared. You know, I want to drive it. I always had this saying, and I'm sure a lot of people do, is I'd rather drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. And I daily drive it. I don't track it. You know, I'm just on the road driving to work and everything. So I don't need 500, 600, 1,000 horsepower, you know. You know, with this car comes stock 305, you know, plus obviously, you know, I got the tune on and everything, so it's a little bit extra. It's plenty for the road. It's so much fun. You can really push the car without going over its limits and risking your life. You know, it's perfect. And it's been such a pleasure to own. I absolutely love this car, and I really do plan on keeping it for as long as I can. I'm on 3 years with this one. As I said, the longest car I've ever owned was that one right there, the M3, which was 4 years. So, and any other car before that, it's been about 2-year ownerships. So that's telling me a lot about how much this car means to me. You know, of course I have the mind, you know, I have those thoughts like, oh, what should I get next? And I do my research, and I look up cars, but that's just the car guy in me. It's not necessarily because that's what I want to do or that's what I'm gonna do. It's just me, you know, that's just what I enjoy doing. I like looking up cars and kind of planning out the next move. But when I think about selling this thing or parting it out, it's just like, I get so unmotivated to do it. I just don't want to do it because, and that's simply just telling me I don't want to sell this car. I'm enjoying it so much that I don't want to part ways with it. I don't want somebody else to take it off my hands. I don't want to sell the wheels to somebody else. I don't want to sell the mirrors to somebody, you know. I want all this stuff. I want this car. And that tells me a lot about how much this means to me, what it's done for me. And, you know, it's completely changed my mindset of what I appreciate and what kind of car that I'm you know, that I enjoy the most. And that's simply simple cars. You know, I don't need the fastest, the most expensive, and the greatest car. They're great and they're fun to drive, but the amount of joy that I get out of this, it's hard to explain. And you know, I don't know if it's me just getting older and appreciating things a little bit more. I'm kind of slowing down a little bit, which probably has something to do with it, but it really has showed me that I don't need much. And I know this is an STI, and I know it is a big reach for some people, but for me, it told me to slow down, you know, not keep on trying to buy more expensive cars and go to, you know, keep on progressing, going up and up and up. You know, just kind of slow down, appreciate what you have, enjoy the time that you have it, because all the other cars that I've had before this, I've always rushed to do this and that and that and this and that, and then I would jump to the next car, do this and that, you know, and I never had time to like sit back and really think about why I was driving that car, or why I bought it, or why I really enjoyed it. So with this one, it's taught me to slow down, enjoy it, you know, get the miles you want, whether, you take some time to get them. Don't just get anything just to put it on the car and do something. Wait to buy the mod that you want or do the things that you want to do, and take your time with it. That's part of the journey. That's part of the fun of it. And after the 3 years and getting it to this point, to me, I feel like I've just, I don't want to say built, but put together the most perfect daily driver that I could have envisioned. I don't want to go crazy on it. I want to keep it simple, and I don't want to put so much power in it that it breaks every 6 seconds. I wanted to keep it looking good, not slam it to the ground or have it crazy loud. I wanted something that I can just get in, drive, no matter what the circumstance may be, whether it's by myself or with my entire family. I can do it in this car. And yes, there's other cars that you can do that with, but for me, this thing just checks all the boxes. And one of the big things about that is having that stick right in the middle right there. Not many cars are offered that, have that option anymore. And it's sad to see it kind of moving away. And that the transmission in the STI is probably one of the best out there, or one of the greater ones. And I absolutely love it. And that has a huge contribution to why the car is just so much fun. And personally for me, I think it looks great. I love the giant wing. Not everybody loves that, but that's just what an STI is, the heritage. Like, there's a lot of history in that thing, and I love having it. And I feel honored that I get to drive it every single day. I feel grateful that I can walk into the garage, take my keys, get in that car, and drive it to work. If I'm driving spiritedly or I'm just cruising, I appreciate it. It's really renewed my passion for cars. This car for me, it's renewed my passion in cars. It's taught me a lot in life, believe it or not. And it's just teaching me to enjoy the little things, enjoy what you have. And I feel absolutely honored and grateful that I get to drive this every single day. And and the weather and how many kids I ever have, that's not going to stop me from owning a fun race car or cool car, whatever you want to call it. So that's my kind of quick 3-year ownership review or thoughts on how this car has treated me. Like I said, I've said it 100 times. I know I ramble and everything, but this is not scripted. This is just off the top of my head. I really do enjoy this car. If you guys are on the fence, especially dads that maybe are afraid to kind of take that leap into a funner car, if you have kids and everything, take the leap. Just do it. Trust me, you'll absolutely love it. You'll enjoy your ownership. You'll enjoy just what this car does for you. You don't have to do all the mods and get it looking a certain way right away. Take your time, whether it's completely stock or modified with 800 horsepower, whatever floats your boat. Take your time doing it. Enjoy the process. Enjoy what you have, because someday maybe this won't be you won't have the ability to do it. So yeah, I don't want to bore you guys too much. I know this video is longer than it probably should be, but I love this car. I love how it's treated me. It's been really good to me, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate the channel growth that the channel has gotten recently. All the comments, all the likes and everything. I really do appreciate it, and it's keeping me motivated to keep making videos and kind of keep sharing my ownership and experience with this car. I will continue to do so as long as people are enjoying the stuff and getting something out of it. I don't want to just put up random things just to put them up. I want to keep on putting stuff out there that I've gained through my ownership and kind of share it to other people. That's the main purpose of this channel and of owning this car. I want to share that with all you guys. And so if anybody is, I guess, in a situation that I was in a couple years ago, that they can have all their questions answered and just watch my videos and understand that just because you're a dad, just because you have kids, doesn't mean you can't have a fun car. So 3 years, going on 4 years, I absolutely love it. It's been relatively cheap to maintain. I've been able to modify it just the way I wanted to. I took my time with it, and I think I put together a pretty cool daily driver. So yeah, if you guys haven't liked the video, be sure to like it. I really do appreciate it. All the newcomers, be sure to subscribe. I appreciate that. And That's it for this one, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.